A 3-point game. Deficit didn't get a whole lot larger than that throughout the game. These two teams trading blows for the full 48. Sacramento led by De'Aaron Fox's 38 points, the second most ever in a playoff debut. Fox not fazed by the moment as he leads Sacramento to a 1-0 series lead. And as they say down in Doco, you can light that beam. And for more, we say hello to CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Ryder. Bill, what a moment for a city, for a franchise, for a team. We're going to dig into it all, but just surface level performance here from the Kings. Unbelievable against a really stout opponent with all of the experience. Your initial takeaway from this first matchup was what?
We all got to stop sleeping on Sacramento. Me, Vegas, all the prognosticators, Draymond Green. Look, it's going to be a long series, and you noted that was a heavyweight fight. They traded blow for blow. Both those teams were exceptional. But the Kings are for real. They're a 3 seed for a reason. And the initial takeaway, Joe, beyond what a basketball game, is what a basketball team in Sacramento.
It was unbelievable stuff. The pace of the game. I mean, if you were to have someone who's never seen the sport of basketball come down, you want to show them this type of game, end-to-end offense. I believe the Kings had about 87 shots per game on average this season, had 98 shots in this one. That pace that they rolled out there, that really looked like the crux of the game plan, was to get out and run, not really get into many half-court sets on either side of the court. Do you think that's sustainable throughout a series here for Sacramento?
I mean, look, history tells us no, and the way that playoff basketball tells us no, and it's not supposed to work, and that's a big part of the reason most folks out there, Joe, most experts, didn't think that the Kings were favorites here. But the irony is they're playing a team that broke the model and broke the mold a decade ago, a little bit less than that, in the Warriors, back when we thought you couldn't win, live, die, rely on three-point shooting. And we know the entire game is different as a result. So let's find out. Certainly in the postseason, the history of that is defenses matter, rotations shorten up, half-court offense is a lot more important, and teams that rely on pace of play tend to underperform if that's all they're doing. But I thought the Warriors looked exceptional. Obviously, Steph Curry played really well, and Sacramento still won the game. De'Aaron Fox was a stud and a star. He's going to be clutch player of the year. He looked like it in this game. So the answer to your question is maybe this is different. Maybe they're going to change the way, in this respect, the game can be played in the playoffs.
Yeah, Golden State shoots at about 48% from the field, and they walk away with a loss here in Game 1. Let's go player-specific. De'Aaron Fox, playoff debut, 38 points. Looked like he'd been there seasons before. What did you make of his performance in this moment?
Absolutely exceptional, and you said it. I mean, and they noted it throughout the broadcast. It's just, I think his 6th season in the NBA. The guy has never played in a postseason game, and he looked every bit as capable as you name any player in the NBA right now in terms of taking care of the moment, hitting big shots, being calm, putting his team on his back. Steph Curry was exceptional. We know Steph Curry is one of the greatest of all time, and De'Aaron Fox matched him blow for blow and really exceeded him blow for blow. I don't want to take anything away from other guys. Malik Monk was really good. You said Sacramento got out and ran. They put in so much effort. But De'Aaron Fox was the best player on the floor, and in a large respect, he carried his team against a Warriors squad that's obviously used to winning playoff games. Credit to him.
That they are. De'Aaron Fox, biggest game of his career since he had tears in his eyes in a Kentucky uniform, and here he is showing up on this stage. Game 1 goes the way of Sacramento. With that in mind, Bill, how does this 48 minutes of basketball change the complexion of the series, if it does at all in your eyes?
Yeah, I don't think it does. I think maybe it just reinforces what we already knew about Golden State. They're going to be, I know they didn't win, but they're going to be fine on the road. They are a really good basketball team. It was nice to see some of the young guys get some minutes and play well in the postseason. If there's any adjustment in the takeaway, Joe, it's that the Sacramento Kings are the 3 seed. They're not the favorite, but they're the team that's home for 4 of these games for a reason. And I think maybe the other takeaway is this is a microcosm, at least for me, Joe, maybe not everybody else, of the Western Conference writ large, in that anybody can come out of this series in the same way that anybody can come out of the Western Conference. You tell me the Kings are going to win, you tell me the Warriors are going to win this series or advance in the next series, nothing would surprise me. Both of these squads look more than capable of deep playoff runs. Obviously, only one of them can advance.
And if Game 1 is any indication, it's going to be a fun watch here between the Kings and the Warriors as we move forward. No matter what that outcome is, this is a night that Sacramento will no doubt remember for a very, very long time. I mean, you're in a way our historian of the game here too as well, Bill. It's been a minute for these Sacramento Kings and that fan base. As you took in the sights and sounds, even between the whistles, what'd you make of this moment for Sacramento?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Like, we all have our salad days. And for me, back in my beat writing days, Joe, when I was on the road all the time, I got to know the former owners of the Kings, the Maloofs. So I spent a lot of time just in Sacramento writing about that team back in the Boogie Cousins days. And I know it's a cliche and everybody says it, but that is such a passionate fan base. They show up. They have a high basketball IQ. They love their team. And they have been as long-suffering as anybody just about in sports. And so this will be, not a fan of the team, but I'm a fan of the fan base. I just like my time around them. This is a huge night, and it points not just to the promise of this series, and it's going to be a tough one, but obviously they're up 1-0. I think it reinforces the promise of the hands the organization is in terms of the front office, the coaching with Mike Brown. He'll be coach of the year, and the fact De'Aaron Fox is going to lead, I think, a pretty formidable Kings franchise and team for many, many years to come.
You can't help but feel good for Sacramento, their fans, that franchise, as they take the 1-0 lead on the defending champion Warriors. Bill Ryder is going to be with us through it all. Thank you, Bill. Here's a look at that series schedule. Game 2, you won't have to wait long relative to some other waits. Some teams getting 2. This series is going to get just one day between, that is. A Sunday off, back on for Game 2 on Monday in Sacramento before we head just a mere 80 miles to the west to take the series to Golden State.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.